How you going, guys? Tonk here again. I forget what date it is, sometime in April. Anyway, I'm just starting to repack my gear and go through it. This is what I call the chainsaw box. This is why I do it, because I got, looks like a couple of bottles of bleach there, and one's starting to leak. It's rubbed a hole and it's leaking in the bottom of the box, so I've got to clean that out. But my two-stroke bar oil for the chainsaw to make up the two-stroke oil, and there's a little bit of ant spray. I've got another lot of ant spray over there. I don't know if you're not familiar with going up in that northern country. There's some flopping ants live up there, lots of ants. So if I'm in the camp somewhere and I'm by myself and they're giving me grief, I just get a little bit of environmentally friendly, if I can, ant spray, and just spray around the base of the trees, and it just keeps them away from my camp. Well, mainly I spray around my tent poles, my table legs. These containers, if you go to camp, you spray around the base, around the edges of them, spray around them, and get a pressure pack. It's over there, and I bloody spray around all the bases of these. I like these containers better. And just give this a bit of a wipe out. It's because it's got bleach in there. I might even go and give it a wash out and I'll be back. That's very corrosive, that stuff. Okay, I'll let that one stay out there. And I'll ship these bit of this stuff out the road. But you don't need a lot of stuff when you go up north. You just need a bit of everything. So you got it with you. Otherwise all you're doing is adding weight to your setup, and you got to cart it up there, and you could have bought it there for a reasonable price. But I like to take a lot of things with me, because when I've got it, nothing worse than you get up there and you think they have this sort of stuff and they don't have it. So okay, this is my boat box, this one. In here, I'll show you. It's got boat books, engine books, gloves, cable ties for anchoring, squid jigs, more gloves, a couple of knives, new glove, a burley bomb, the EPIRB. This is a GPS EPIRB. Make sure you get it, it's registered to AMSA, as you know. That's the book for the parson. Some 6.0 hooks. Oh, another new glove. I might just get rid of all them old gloves. What's in here? Oh, there you go. Probably don't even need any of that. It's I think I've gone through this and showed you in a video before. What's that one? Spare oil filter. I think that might be for the motor. Yeah, anyway, there's a spare prop there, a scaler. Okay, what's in that one? Bungs, spare bungs for the tinny, spare bloody pressure bowl. Okay, well this can come out, and I'll put the and this one. Oh, there's a couple of lights. I was going to go and do a bit of crabbing. A couple of winch remotes I've got to remember about. My electrical stuff, it goes in another box. But in here, and that one, and it goes in my boat. It's got me, you got your flares, pull starter, V-sheet, mirror, couple of spark plugs, one of them bloody Swiss Army knives that's got everything on it, light, fire extinguisher there. I wrapped this fire extinguisher in a old shirt, so that stops it rubbing. Oh, sorry, I can put that emergency supply of toilet paper for out in the boat. Okay, well there's a spare fuel filter for the main engine. It goes in. Like I said, I think there's squid jigs, heap of squid jigs in there, different sorts. I probably won't need them on this trip. A scaler, it can go in. Right, I might just keep, only need a few sets of gloves. I'm getting that many gloves. And over here, I just bought 2 new sets, so that gives me 3 sets of new gloves. Well, they can go in because I'm not a handline, I'm not a rod fisherman anymore. I'm a handline fisherman. So I only need, I get those swivels like that and I put them straight onto the eye of the 6.0, and then you put your sinker straight above them. But those swivels can go in my tackle box. I like to put the hooks in this boat box, so then they're dry. Because I put those spare hooks in there. There's some ones I bought off eBay or something. A few bucks for 50 hooks. I'll see how they go. These ones are true turns. They're about bloody $1 each. So there's 75 hooks there for the hand lining. I might even put them in there too. Never to be found again. Righto, I'll keep those books in there because you just don't know for outboards. Keep your books. I might even put them in here. In that one. Like I was saying before, I might have said before in different videos, I have 2 EPIRBs because one was the battery was getting close to being replacing, and it was going to take a while to get it back. So I was going on a trip, so I just bought another EPIRB, but bought a better style because of had the GPS in it. The old one didn't have the GPS. Oh, there you go. There's another pair of gloves. Beautiful. So that gives me 4 pairs of new gloves. These ones get, what are they like? He's not too bad. He can come out. They can all come out. They're all buggered. It pays to go through your gear every now and then, and if you're not using it, start thinning it out. Otherwise you're like me, you end up with 150 kilos of gear you don't need. My burley bomb, don't really use it much anymore because the sharks are that much trouble. I'm not game. Pair of bloody pliers, probably need another pair of them. Pair of chickens for cutting gills. New knife, couple of new knives for cleaning. Right, that's about me for the boat. That goes in the boat. That's what I carry with me in the boat. That allows me then to put a bit of camera gear in. And I love these boxes, this particular boxes, because they've got no holes in around them and they're waterproof. These ones, these tactic ones. So there, that's that one. He's virtually done. Yeah, so I'm just starting to get, there's my hand lines. I only have 3 or 4 hand lines. Well, that might be what goes in there actually. I'll have to, I might have a couple more somewhere. I'll see what I got, I'll drag them out. I only hand line fish these days. I don't bother with rods or reels. It's just a pain in the ass, to be honest, for me. Look at that, I can just take that, 2 or 3 hand lines, a bit of 70 or 80 pound Snyder on them, and they don't break down, you haven't got to fix them. And I catch all them after as a feed, catch a few fish for a feed. So yeah, okay, they can just sit up here, they're the ones. There's a bit of extra electrical gear, a couple of my wrench remotes for the boat. They all go in the car. I'll just start sticking all this stuff out in the open and I'll see it. In here, kitchen, you can read it there. I got to get all this out and wash it. Because it hadn't been washed for a while. I'll take that inside and give this all a good wash. Been sitting there for 12 months. All them tea towels probably need a wash. All this gear needs a wash because it's been that wet. This would be all bloody mouldy probably. And I'd be up for a new few tea towels. A pot and a fry pan, a few knives, salt and pepper, a couple of cups, a few plates, a little old toaster thing from the stove. Yeah, and that's all I have in there. A bit of detergent. Then I have to take a washing up dish. There's a washing up dish with a bit of wire in it, spare wire. All I take nowadays is this, that 160 litre, 52 litre esky to put my fish in. That'll be my electrical box. Probably one of them boxes will be my electric box. Yeah, so I'll take this, put this out in the veranda and take it over the house. Give it a wash. Take everything out of there and give it a wash and a scrub up. Yeah. But I just start going through it all. I know in that other box that I had, wherever I did with it. Oh, it's outside giving it a wash. When it's dry, I'll bring it back in, and that's, like I said, that's my chainsaw. My spare oils, I got 2-stroke oil, bar oil, mainly for the chainsaw for firewood, and the 2-stroke, and the chainsaw goes in it too. Otherwise, if you got nothing, yeah, I just put it in that box. It's not heavy and it doesn't take up a lot of room, and just looks after your gear. It's out of sight too. There's a bit of stuff here. There's an old stove's got to come in, one of them throwaway stoves. I take it as a spare. And heap of, oh, I see I might even have some enough 80 pound Snyder there to re-spool. There's got to be a couple of new spools or what I had last year somewhere. Not unless I was used them all. See, that one there's got a heap of line on him. Probably only need one more. So if I got a bit of line on one of them spools, it's 80 or 70. Take that with me and that gives me spare. Plus you can buy any sort of stuff like that that's up north. Got a couple of drums of oil here to give everything an oil change before I go away. Give the Toyota an oil change. Yeah, I just yeah, okay, I'll go and put this on the veranda of the house. And then I'll go through my tackle box. I've gone and the other day, this is all I take from my tackle box. Here's me when I cook on over the fire. Like, you can buy these flash ones called Ospreys and that. Well, that one I know my neighbour made in 1990, and it's just a couple of things out of a fridge, and he made that up. Tiger wired it together, and he'd give it to me. So she'd be not far a 40-year-old. Well, not 40, whenever it was, 91, so 30 years old anyway. So I went the other day and I bought some sinkers. That's a good size. If there's a bit of run, I use that big Jew sinker, I call them. Then most times with mono you're fishing with a 10 ball or a heap of 8 balls. These things are like an 8 or 9 ball. And I bought 50 sinkers the other day. I know I should make them. And this here's in Western Australia when I went there, you got to have a hook, a pull weight, the drop weight in your boat. So I made that up. I can hook that up and that'll pull a cod or something down. You degas him and it'll squeeze the barb flat. And so you can hook it in his lip and it'll drop him over on the line and shoot him to the bottom and pull it off. But that's all I run in here. Heap of these type sinkers that, like I said, go on swivels, sorry. For a pro bloody fisherman, and I just do them up like that. Then the hand line and the sinker goes straight on there. A lot of people don't do it, but I do. Carry a little sandstone and I always sharpen my hooks. Bloody annoys the shit out of me when I watch all these shows, trebles and bloody lures, hooks on lures, and not one of them fucking sharpen their hooks all the time. They rely on them sharp out of the box. Whereas I'll get these, and if they don't feel good, like new, they're good, but as soon as they hook a couple of fish, they go off, you bump them on the side of the boat, you know, you don't realise you bump, that just rolls the hook over, you drop a fish. So you have a little sandstone like that and you just, yeah, you just buddy, get them like this and get the little hook like that and you just get that groove and you just rub them up. Oh, and they just come up, and I tell you, you'll be missing the fish and next minute you're on again. Oh yeah, that nearly got me. He just rides in there. And I might have to get myself a new set of pliers. There's not much. I run pretty lean on the gear these days. I used to have all the rods and reels and like I got nothing against people who love their lure fishing, but oh my god, the cost of it. You know, they're going to catch a few fish. They haven't got bloody $10,000 worth of rods and gear and lures, maybe $15,000. They mightn't have that amount, but like each rod set up now, the reels, $1,000, $1,500. They got 4 of them each. There you go, there's bloody 10 grand. Then there's boxes of fucking lures, you know, at $15, $20, $30 each. It just mind boggles me. I can go up there, because I'm not a catch and release fisherman. The only time I release them is they're undersized, and they get released into the esky. Otherwise, if I'm going fishing, I'm going for a feed. So yeah, I don't see the point of catch and release. For me, being an ex-pro fisherman, it's just against the grain. Anyway, each to their own, but I'm just saying, it just costs a lot of money and fuels. It gives a lot of people a lot of jobs, I suppose, buying gear and all the rest of it. But for me, being Tonk the tired ass, I'm just going up there to relax. All right, 22 minutes of rambling in here. So yeah, and then I've got a new chain for that saw somewhere. I've got to track it down so it can go in the chainsaw box. I bought it last year. See, there's all my different lines when I was proing for the deck winches years ago. 300, 250, 200, and this was 80, see? I might even take that with me. That used to go on the deck winch. 200 and 250 was the main line on the deck winch and 300 for making the traces. But I don't use that these days because I haven't got a deck winch. Well, I did have one, but my mate come and got it. That's his. Well, I've had it here for about 8 years. And yeah. Anyway, I'll turn this off and I'll take this one over so I can sit it on the veranda so I know to wash it. And then those will go in the top of that box. And I know then that I've got them in. I used to take a couple of rods. I got 2 rods here with a couple of bait runner 12,000 Thunneths on them. that I bought when I was proing, and they've paid for themselves years ago catching fish, so they owe me nothing. These are a couple of few things that's got to go to the dump, not the hose, but the old fridge is buggered, this fan's buggered, that thing can go. Alright, morning all, morning YouTube, Tonk here. I'm just starting another little bit of the packing app. Shut this door, just gone through. My old tea towels about buggered, they'll be grease rags now. The wife bought me a couple of new ones. I've just given all my gear a wash. This is what I do when I go up the north. I have a tray like that, and it's got, this is set up for 6 people, for the whole family, not just me. This is this container does 6, our whole fam, so there's 6 knives and forks and everything in there, but in the bottom I put a bit of paper towel, stops them rubbing on the bottom, stops them moving around a bit, corrugations, and these will just be washed and brought out. Now I just stack them. See what put newspaper, that's a whole newspaper just folded in half in the bottom, stops a lot of rubbing on the bottom of the box. And now it's a matter of just putting everything in there so it tries not to rub. Like, the roads aren't as bad as they used to be years ago, but you know, I start off with all the plates in the bottom. I know it's a bit of a pain when you go to get them out. Actually, I used to have a pretty good system of how they packed in there. I might put the fry pan in the bottom. Then you put a tea towel in it. Spread it out like so inside. Then all the plates can go into that. And they drop in there. It's just a matter of getting in as much as you can. Then you pot like that, and you shove all the make sure it's dry inside so it doesn't go mouldy. That's the whole process of washing it. Give him a white. Drop all them in there like so. He sits up on top. He can go in the bottom. Generally what I do then is spread another tea towel over the top, and that can go in there, maybe that way so it doesn't move as much. Then it's just a matter of getting these and shoving inside and putting in. Over in there, over in the corners so they sit down a bit better. These little ones like so, they can go upside down. Then you just get your, oh, I forgot. Got to get your salt. Sorry, salt can go down in there. Might have to change it around. What's in this one? Oh, they smell alright. Tea bags. Just got to make sure then your dishwashing liquid, he goes in. Nah, see, I'll have to take this out. It's been a while since I've packed it. Takes a little while. Might have to start with them in the bottom, so they don't tip over. And see if that'll fit back in there. Yeah, that might be better. Then you can put him down in there. Just got to remember, then that can go in something like that. He can sit in there. Sit them in so try not to rattle your tin opener. Cut the top off, they're nice. Sit them in there. Then you get your plastic bag, pack him down and so. Yeah. And your grater. You can just come in, and then you might have to, they're rattling a bit. You get your paper towel and things like that, and you sit him underneath like that and sit him on top of your toaster for your gas stove. generally, there might be a few things missing there. It seems to have a lot of room in it. But that's a bit of a rough idea. And if I was going on a really rough road, like we used to go on years ago, it don't seem to be as bad. But you'd probably put another layer or two of newspaper in between those things just to stop them rattling. But I'm only going up the Cape this year. The roads aren't so bad. But I could have washed those old tea towels and dropped them in as packing. But yeah, that's what I sort of do. See, that box rides in the truck with me, so it gets a good ride. And yeah, just give that whole thing and now I'll keep that in the house just before I go. Then it's got kitchen written on it, so because all these black boxes all look a bit the same, so you want to be making sure you're getting the right one out you want it. Yeah, it's just a matter of sorting it out. That's all I do. No, you know, you can have them in drawers and all that, but I find that's just so handy. I can grab that box. So I'm going in the boat, doing it over a night or two, and just grab that box. It's got everything I need in it. All I need now is a gas stove, something to cook on if I was going, or I can chuck that in the truck. We're going for a day trip somewhere, and just grab that, we got it. And these boxes are waterproof, so they're really good. And he can just sit there. It may even need another wash before I go yet. Yeah, it's about another 3 or so weeks before I go, and it just depends whether it goes mouldy and stinky. And I might just leave this lid up a little bit. So it just lets a bit of breeze in there, but then you got to watch you letting in the hornets and everything start building in them then. Around here, mud hornets and that. But yeah, I mean, there's no hard and fast rule to any of this, but that's just what I do. Alrighty. Someone did ask me to show them what food and that to pack, and I'll actually show that. I'll go and buy some later on. I'll buy some sausages, and I'll do all that sort of stuff up just for the trip up. I like to have about a week or 10 days food with me in case of breakdown somewhere. Not that it's that remote anymore, you know, you got that many people coming past you, everybody's willing to help someone, but you just never know. You got it there with you. Always take enough water. That's the biggest thing when you go north. It starts getting hot, you drink twice as much water because you're coming out of the cold. I've got my gas bottle full there. She's been filled up, took her down, took her to BCF. That's the owner bottle, and it was $26 or $7 for a refill. Just make sure when you take them in it's in date, and it's got to have that plug in it. That you'll probably know what I'm talking about. Got to have that thing in it. That plug there with it, otherwise they won't refill them these days for some reason. So that's a 9 kilo bottle. I think that was $26 or $7 from BCF. There probably is cheaper places to get them done. Okay, I'll take my long handle shovel, she goes with me as well. Alright, I'll turn this off and I'll go and sort a bit out in the shed in the chainsaw box, and I'll repack it. Alrighty, pack this chainsaw box. See, generally this is just a free paper, the Croy community paper. Get him in the middle. I didn't do this last time, and that's what happened to that, if you might have seen it, but it's had 2 bottles of chlorine bleach, which I use to wash everything down. And it's like for disinfectant. You can't beat it. It's fantastic stuff for washing tables with fish guts on them. And you can use all the fancy stuff under the sun. But I can tell you, unless it's been a little while, 90% of the trawlers, well, they used to, they might have something different now. So you just pack it and put it in the bottom like that, and then you can, that just helps, stops. Yeah, put your oils in, a couple of bottles of oil, what I normally do, see how that's like that, so that helps, if that'll fit in, I generally put like that, in that other container like that, see? That just stops them rubbing. Then I'll have this, he drops in there and you can put a couple of things in the bottom of that ice cream container, and they see, just if they do leak, it stops them leaking in the bottom of your container. See, that's what leaked in there last time because of what it did to Cape and did the Gibb River, it did the Tanami, and rubbed a hole in the bottom of that because I didn't have the newspaper on the bottom. If you had the newspaper on the bottom of that box, you wouldn't have got that rubbing. In here's a bit of Fortune 500 more two-stroke oil, because I only got what I probably should do is tip one into the other. So you got, but I don't mind having a couple of, because one gets a hole in it, you still got another one, there's a little bit of a backup. And they're not that heavy. Then you get the, what is it, y'all? TCW3. That one happened to be a mobile one, but doesn't matter what make, brand or whatever you use. Oh, sorry, I've got to make sure my chainsaw fits before I start jamming things in there. He fits up in here, so that box has got to, he fits down in there like that, perfect, see? And then you actually got to pack everything around that chainsaw. But before I put that chainsaw in, I finally found I'll put a new chain on this. I'll put a new chain on it. I've got one here, I found it. I'll put it in and it won't need sharpening. And then it'll be right for the trip. And what I do then is I'll just see if I'm in shot. Oh yeah, it takes in miles. You don't realise you can take in miles. Oh, anyway, there's my chainsaw sharpener. I put it in. You've never had anything to do with them, gosh. You can't sharpen like me. It's a steel one. It has the round file in it, chainsaw file, plus a flat file that takes the rakers down. And when you push it in, it actually turns the file and sharpens the tooth and gives you the angles. Ah, for a hand one. And me, you know, like I've cut timber for years too, off and on the farm. Cut posts with mates. And always carry a spare spark plug with your chainsaw. He needs a little bit of grease wrapping around him. He's a little bit rusty from being in that packet. I'll just wipe a bit of grease. Ouch! Probably what he needs is putting in a container, a little plastic container, and either a plastic container or a tip seal bag actually. Put the old mower outside, that'll let a bit more light in. Sorry about that. But yeah, I've got this new chain, brand new chain I bought. She's got to go on. I'll put that on the still. Then like I said, I'll refuel this, oil it, fuel it, and it's in the box ready to go then. That little fella he can just drop in there between one of them. He's a spare spark plug, because what happens sometimes when you get up north, the heat and that, the spark plugs just break down out of nowhere. You just get up, it might have been working when you're at home, and then when you get up there, she just stops. So I've seen that happen a fair bit actually. Had it happen to me a couple of times. So I'll take the spark plug out. I normally would blow the air cleaner out in it. Take this top off, I might show you, you just blow that out. Now she'll go and give it a bit of a blow down, she's a bit dirty. Just show you what I do. Just a little preparation for the old chainsaw. Poor old girl. Yeah, shove the compressor in here and give her a and the choker. What I'm doing here is I'm bloody making, you put it up against something like that, you can see the oil come off the bar. Righto, now she's oiled that chain up, you can put her away and it's not going to go rusty on you if you don't use it for a long time. So what I'll do now that she's had it cleaned down, got a bit of the stuff off, what? You undo that one there, and this will come off. Normally does. Ah, there you go, you got to put the brake on, then you just take this little filter out here. Tip him upside down, that gets rid of that dirt away from him, then you get your and blow him out. Give us a blow off, see there's dirt on there. Don't hold it too close and lock a bit. The old ones, they used to put a bit of oil on that. But I think the two-stroke comes back up a little bit. Clean up like that. Make sure she goes back together properly. Put the lid on it. Put a new chain on it. I blew it all out. I cleaned the air cleaner. Now I was just saying about I like these ones that screw up better than the push in and turn things, because these don't leak. I'm just about to put some fuel and some oil in it, and then I'll put it in that box for the trip up. So I've got a chainsaw. I know everybody's into their electric chainsaws these days, but to be honest, we never go into national parks that much, and if I'm camped up north, I like to go and cut a full big load of wood. And 240 bucks, brand new. And just at the moment, I can't bring myself to spending $400 or $500 on a bloody case, or $300, and run me. I could use the get the Makita one, and I will one day when we're travelling. It's because it doesn't have the petrol, but just for my solo trips, I prefer the chainsaw petrol one. And but when I start travelling the wife, I'll probably end up buying just a Makita case, because I've got 3 batteries there, and that'll be just good for when you travel along the road. You can just borrow a bit of firewood along the road. Yeah, but my spare filter goes in there. There's a couple of tie rod ends I take with, because you just never know. They're the sort of things, they're just hard to get. Bloody steering linkage stuff. I bought a full set and I fitted the whatever I replaced, and I just had a couple left there, and they're all just come in handy. I'll put the little tap and die set in too. I take a few. I've shown you previous. I take some. That's in my welding, in my electrical box. That'll have the welding gear and cables and stuff for the solar. That'll be the next one I'll pack. Okay, I'll switch this off. I'll do that to the chainsaw and I'll fit it in there, and then I'll pack stuff in around it. And that's another job done. I mean, you don't have to take all this with you. And I probably won't even use it. But you just never know. I might convert this box, because it leaks a bit of water, might convert this box to one of these, an 85 litre tactic box one day. I just haven't got enough of them to do it with. And whatever's in here, that's another reason I put a fair bit of in these plastic containers. If it leaks a little bit of water in the bottom, whatever I got in here, it won't affect it too much. I take my float for the anchor. I know I'm getting off the subject, but okay, that's what I'm going to do, and then I'll get I think that box has got all my electrical cables, leads, spare bloody solar controller in it. I give these fridges, both fridges a run for about 4 or 5 days the other day to make sure they're going. They'll get a good clean out inside and out before I go. I'm not going a penny, so I won't need a big heap of hoses or pumps or anything like that, so but I'll still take them just in case, because you never know. But normally I take a heap of buckets, 20-litre buckets, and then they just go inside each other, and that'll give me a couple 100, 200 litres of water, which is for one person's heaps. But the main thing is fuel. When you're going up fishing, you got to have fuel. Right, I'll switch this off, do that, and then I'll show you the next one. There you go. I said a shirt, but I have an old set of track pants I put the chainsaw in, and I just sit her in that, and that just stops her rubbing. Yeah, so our chainsaw just goes down the leg into the pants part, and that just comes around him. Just gives it a bit of protection into the box. That just sits in there lovely then. Then you can get something like this, it'll fit in there like that beside it. I try and pack in as much as I can so it doesn't shift. Now, I did have an oil bottle there somewhere. Don't forget the most important part, the bloody your spanner. He can go back in there. Generally, a bit of rag. Sock's good for this sort of stuff. You wrap your bloody everything in a sock, and it just touches on something. It doesn't rub a hole in it. I don't know about the air cleaner this year. I've never used a spare. I'm not crossing any water crossings this year, so he might stay at home. Although he just sits in there nicely, so I've had him in before. Maybe this one can come up this way. He can go in there. Just shift him around a bit. Shift this around a bit. I know it's been in there before. Maybe he can go to the bottom. That's the good thing about it. You get time now. You get in and you pack this before you go. He can go down in there. I'll give you a show what it looks like when I'm finished. That one can go in there. And I'll leave the and I'll just see what else I can fit in. Yeah, the chainsaw's in there. It's true stroke oil for the outboards here. Now I probably should have had that in the in the 2-stroke oil. The big bottle of oil, he can go in. I'll just see what happens. That bloke might have to stay home yet. I don't like creating complications. Here he is. He's got to go in there somewhere, see? So this one may have to stay home yet. Oh no, he can sit up like that. Oh, now we're talking. Just a matter of moving around. See how I like to have a cardboard, plastic, material, paper in the bottom on the corrugations. Yeah, material around that chainsaw so it's not rubbing the handle off. And that's where I didn't practice what I preached when I had the two bleach bottles in it. They'd rub through on the bottom. Now that probably doesn't need a lot more in there because it's all sitting down in there nicely. And if I find something else, see, I might, even though I don't need them, I might just throw these, later on I might just throw these gloves in around stuff. They're just so handy to chuck in and use as packing around stuff. Not heavy. Alright, I'll turn this off. You get the gist but this is only for newbies. It's never packed much for Australia conditions. You know, rougher roads. I mean, like I keep saying, but our roads aren't near as rough as they used to be. And but I still pack pretty good, because if you're going up early and they haven't graded the road, you might bloody strike 200 or 300 or 400 k's of pretty washed out country. You know, the roads are a little bit worse than I thought. So yeah. And then all your gear just gets rubbed and smashed to bits because you're too lazy to pack for it. So you pack for the worst conditions, and if it doesn't happen, so be it. You've had a good trip. But if you don't, and then the whole time you drive, and oh gosh, you'll know that you're like having that chainsaw by itself in the box, just smashing around in there by itself. You'll be fringing at the thought of it. See, you can drop these in there and they just fill the holes in a bit, pack them in around things, stops them rubbing. I know I took them out of one spot, but now instead of being gloves, they're things to stop things rubbing. So they go from one use to another. There's my spare belts. I'm going to fit them into the Toyota. I'll see what I've got. I did take and chuck a heap of belts away last year, sorting them out. Alright, I'd say that he's nearly done too. I just leave him in the open where I can see this bit here is a special bit that goes in the fridge in the back of the truck between that fridge and me Kings, and that's the plug comes out there. What I'll do this year is drill a few holes through here, and that can get a bit of circulation, and that lets the little fan in it breathe. Now throw him up there, open him up, and go through this one. Okay, like I was saying, there's all bits and pieces in here. There's part of your lead. I'll put it out here, what's in here. You know, those fuses, I've started to get rid of all them. There's extra leads, spare flopping controller, 40 amp controller, DC to DC controller, which I'll probably take a couple extra panels for spares. My little face mask, what I use for if I'm going to be welding. When I do up the welding thing, that's my face mask. You put put your two crank batteries together, create 24 volt and about 2 mil rods. They're great. Yeah, there's one of your 15-20 metre cords with a 3-way splitter on the bottom of it. That goes to 3 panels. There's another 20 metre cord, and you say, oh, why do you use such small wire? Well, coming from the panels to the controller, because I run house panels, they're 37 to 60 volts, some of them. And over that distance, you don't get a lot of volts dropped when you get higher voltage. So when you leave the controller to go to the batteries, you want it as close. There's my bilge pump. A Japsco, that's what we use if we're at Penny to suck out of the bores. To get your water for showers. And that has like the bore's about 4 metre deep. suck them up, but she's not open this year, so I might probably need that, but I'll take it anyway in case it is. There's your handpiece. That's for your stick welding. That goes onto the battery. And then before I go, I can do that now actually. I take the earth cable off the me welder here before I go. Oh no, I can use this one. I know it's a bit heavy, but what I'll do is I can do the same thing. You just get a battery clamp and you put him onto that, and that gives you a little bit of length in your leads, and they're nice heavy leads. But with the 12 volt, the 24 volt, you can go up to 36 volt. I've seen with Ronnie and Viv Moon, they put 3 12 volt batteries together to give them 36 volts. Oh, didn't that make things weld? Yeah, there's your welding rods. I have them in there. The 2mm welding rods. They seem to pull them not too bad. 1.6s. What in here is this is if that bore pump breaks down. This is my dad's original one. That's for sucking up out of the bores. You put a garden hose on here, and you don't even have to clamp it. And this here's, well, bugger, that fell it off. He's fallen off. But oh well, I'll have something for him. And this cable's 4 metres long. You lower that down, that pumps your water up out of the bores. Yeah. You got to have that sort of stuff. Oh, there he is in there. Good. He just needs soldering on before I use him. These little things, you know, and this one this pops off, and it's a transfer. You can put that in a line, and buddy, or you can use this to fill out of a river. Same with that, a diaphragm. If you got buddy crocodile country, you just throw a buddy thing onto that with a foot valve, chuck it out into the water, and you're not going near it bailing the water up, and you can just pump and fill your. Same with that other pump. That's a self-priming pump. Just these little things like that help you. And these are my 2 leads I use to join the batteries together. You put that from negative to positive to give you the 24 volt between your 2 batteries for welding. What else is in here? Oh, my gas fitting to go to the stove. So he actually wants to go with the stove actually. Bit of 30-pound line. Oh, I got everything in here. I got bits and pieces of stuff everywhere. So righto, they can go in there. That can go back in there. This has got a heap of like plastic bags and spare flopping washing up things, and big heap of mozzie coils. You've got to take them when you go north. Spare ones of them. I've got to buy a heap more of them somewhere. I like to get the 30 pack that's in the tin, and that way it doesn't burn your camp at night. You have it in the tin. I mean, these are just things I do. You don't have to listen to anything I say. You can do it your own way. That's the beauty of it all. But I'm just saying what I do because people are watching sometimes for different ideas. But this is just my electric box. I might just put him in there now because I use the little cheap stoves when I go north. For a start, I don't need him till I get to the camp. Now, I can either use them as 20 metre leads, or that gives me 40 metres from the camp to get out to the sunshine if I need it. But I don't use it that much anymore because the one on the top of the Toyota, that 545 watt by bifacial panel is when it gets a bit of reflection coming off the roof of the truck and that out in the sun, it's 545 watt, and it's double sided. They say they're equivalent to over 600 watt panels. So, you know, that's the potential of like 45, 50 amps comes out of that panel. And even if I have the Trailblazer, which draws about 6 amps, I have this 95 litre one, it draws another 6 amps. There's 12, and my other fridge draws 2 or 3. It's 12, it's 15. So you really want double that to replenish them in a hurry. So there you go, there's 40, 45 watts, amps. So with a good panel like that, I could get away with just the one panel. But me being me, in the boat, I'll still take a couple of solar panels with me, because you never know, you park under a tree or something, big limb come down, smash that solar panel on your truck, or flexing up there and different things, it could crack the panel. It's an unknown quantity, that panel, although I have seen my friend I got it off, he did a trip up the Tanami, up into Columbaroo and home with it on the top of his BT50, no trouble at all. So I'm not expecting trouble, but again, my motto is go like the Boy Scouts, go prepared. What you don't use, you have a good trip, you know. So that's a bit of my motto, but yeah, I don't sort of put too much, because everything there, did you see I had it wrapped in an old pair of shorts, and a lot of the time I get up there, I go, oh shit, I got no bloody work pants. Then I get this flopping, you probably heard this story 1,000 times because I've said it. I get up there and I go, oh, I want a pair of shorts, and I go, oh shit, that's wrapped in a pair of shorts. So I steal that, give it a wash, and I've got extra clothes that I didn't realise I had. So that's the 3, and that's about me. That's all I take. Then there's this Esky. He comes out, and he just sits. He goes in the boat. And what if I can, I put stuff in him. If I can't, see, there's a bit more cord just there. Spare fuses, bloody Anderson plugs, dustpan and brush. Don't forget, I'll give me fishing gear back over here now and put on top all the time. There's a strap to hold the boat down, a spare strap. Yeah. That's about it. I set that up there in case I want it for packing. Now this little table here comes, he wants to come out. Here's what my gas stove goes on. I put him on that to cook on. This table over here comes out. It comes out, and here's my cleaning table. Then all these fuel containers. I get these fuel containers. And I know it's illegal to fill them up with a servo, but it's not illegal to carry your fuel in them. Well, at the moment it's not, unless it changes. And like I said, I've carried fuel in these for, but I am going to change them over, I reckon. But these are chlorine, what the treatment plant use, and they're safety with the strip in them, just the same as a fuel container, and I was carrying fuel in these for, since 91. So what's that? 30 years, 30 something, 32 or 3 years I put fuel in them and carried it. But I get some more jerry cans. I like the plastic ones. Nothing wrong with the steel ones, it's so bloody heavy. You know, everything's about weight these days. I take a couple of fuel drums, a couple of hoses, everything's doubled up. The only thing I didn't get, oh yeah, good, I got the oil filter. I take a couple of tubes of Sikaflex Pro, whatever it is, I take that Sikaflex with me. because I've got an aluminium radiator in my car, and if a stick or something comes through or it cracks, I can get in there and pull it out, and I can bung this stuff in there and clog her up and keep me going. Or I use it to buddy couple of jerry cans. So yeah, I bring me leg prop out and I put me under my outboard, and I just start sitting everything there. The axe can come out and sit here where you can see it. I've got 2 20-litre drums, that's for fresh water. They take them with me, one's for the radiator and one's to have a bar on the way up. I generally have enough drinking water in bottles. This time I'll have the fridge and I'll have it full of cold water. And when you get up there they turn into ice. There's a few things like that, and I go rally around and find all my buckets. And the funniest thing you'll see, you think it's being a fisherman, I won't even take one rod. Oh, me buddy. The outboard cover, it can come out where I can see it. The rope to tie the flopping outboard on. Yeah, all this sort of stuff just over the next week or two. I'll just start bringing it out in the open. It's in the shed here, it's just a matter of finding it. Stacked up top. Gas stove comes out anywhere I can see it. A few things like that, spare battery. This battery box comes out, so I can put the battery out of the boat into it and pack into the truck, pack into the boat, so it's not in the battery box in the boat, because the battery sits up on the seat, and it's it'll probably smash the backside out of the battery, out of the box. Yeah, things like that, so I put that down. That sucker goes down. Yeah. Oh yeah, that can go in there. I'll take him, that's a spare heavy 8mm. I've gone up to 8mm on a lot of things. Oh, my 2 remote controls for my winch, they can come out here and sit in the open. They can go in the Toyota glove box. Okay, I think you're probably getting a gist of what I do. And I just go through and see that stuff over there, that fuel doctor. I fuel up and I dose the old Toyota with a dose of that for about 3 tanks fulls up the road as I'm going. Oh, and doesn't it just make a bloody cleaner out? And you don't think so, but this stuff, yeah. I'm not, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not sponsored by anybody, nor do I want to be sponsored by anybody. I don't want it. Even if I had 100,000. Not that it'll ever happen. But I'm just saying, if I plug it, I use it. And I'm not plugging it, I'm just saying I use it. It's up to you whether you want to use it or not. But I found with my Toyota, you put, say, 3 tankfuls of, say, yeah, you start off with a full tank, you're getting 600-700 Ks towing to the 2 tanks, you only put in bloody 60, 70, 80 litres is sort of all you get in. 100 litres max between the 2 tanks, because you never let them get down. And what I normally do before I go too is I like to let my fuel tanks get as low as possible, suck up as much shit as out of the tanks as I can, and then just before I leave I change that fuel filter. So it's got a new fuel filter on it, should give the engine oil change, clean the motor down with a bit of degreaser, and most times I put a new air cleaner in it because they're only 25-30 bucks. And I'd rather do that. Like, don't get me wrong, the K&N's a great idea, but I just find it just as easy for me to just throw a new air cleaner in it, But having said that, I only just did a trip not long ago, and I haven't done a lot of Ks around here, a lot of dusty roads. So what I'll do, I might just take the filter air cleaner out, just give it a slight blow, check it over for dust, and yeah. But like I said, I'll give her from here to the Cape. I'll dose her. There's a couple of good doses anyway. Oh, and she seems to just boogie along, eh? She doesn't blow as much smoke, and you can hear the old girl of the morning, tuck, 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 the old injectors are clicking away there nicer. Well, I don't know. It could be all in my brain. It seems to work. And not only that, if you do pick up a bit of bloody water and shit along the road, this fuel doctor converts it over that it bloody won't stuff your fuel pump if you get dirty fuel. It's just a handy thing to have. Right, my seat's out. I generally take enough oil to change it. If I'm doing a big long trip, I'll take 10 or 12 litres of oil with me, engine oil, so I can change the engine oil on the trip somewhere. But I'll see, if I'm only just going up the Cape and around, I might need to. I might just do the trip on the one. Alright. Yeah, thanks for watching. I know I'm waffling on, but I don't know. Like I said, this will be me. I've been going up north, travelling around Australia with my own vehicle since 1982, and this will be. I've done 2 trips to Kimberley's. I've done a trip around Australia in '88. First went to the Cape in '82. I think this is either 23 or 24 trips up the Cape in 43 or 4 years, 43 years. So yeah, I'm not trying to tell you bullshit of what I do, making it up as I go along. It's all from just things I've done over the years. I mean, anybody will tell you the same stuff. But this is just the way I do it, and I've had and like, I'm not using brand new best of gear. I'm working with old gear all the time and just poke along, fixing it up and getting it there. Like my Toyota could do with all brand new bearings. You'd throw the other ones out. I mean, if money was no object, you'd go completely rebuild front and back diff, gearbox, motor, but you don't have to. You just keep working on them steady. Yeah, I watch these shows where they're going. I won't say his name, but every time I watch him, he'll buy a vehicle and he'll completely pull the bloody thing down from one end to the other and redo it. Well, I would do too if I was getting all the parts for next to next, and then the people are putting in the flopping work and the labour. I mean, it's overkill. Like, maybe in Africa where there's no one around and no parts, but here in Australia, even up the Kimberleys, a few bucks in the old helicopter, might cost you a couple of grand, maybe 3.5 or something, I don't know. But if you're broken down, someone will haul a helicopter in from Kununurra or a light plane into an airstrip on a flopping, on a station there. Yeah, it's just, Australia's not that remote anymore. Maybe the canning stock route or something, but what I do, I just poke along, and that's what my whole channel is about, is doing it as, going as far as you can for as little as possible with the right amount of maintenance. Yeah. The key stuff. You don't have to completely strip everything down, you just do the key stuff when it needs to be done. And that's by checking. You check your wheel bearings, you pull them off and you go, yeah, they'll do the next trip with a bit of grease. You pull them out next time, they're starting to lose a bit more metal. Yeah, that one could collapse. I've never had a bearing collapse yet, and I've had, one year I was up the Cape, had a 1982 Land Cruiser HJ47 2H. The alternator bearing was screaming its bloody tits off, like the fan belt slipping. I pulled it down in a vice, was going to put a new bearing in it, but there was no such thing then up the Cape. It had no chrome on the balls in the bearing, and it was like the ocean in there, the waves in the ocean are worn. I just packed it with grease, popped that case back in like I showed you on that last bearing, filled it with grease. I did the trip. I got home, I was running around here for 4 months and thought, oh, I better change that bearing one day. And when I pulled it out again, it still had all the grease in it, it was fine. And it's just amazing what a bearing will do as long as it's got grease. I remember my brother be harvesting and the cone bearings on the header. Be nearly smoke coming out of them. He'd just get a punch, drive a hole into the metal flopping casing, and every day just keep squirting oil in it, and then it just, because he was trying to finish the harvest. And then in the off season he'd pull it down and fix it. But it's amazing what they do if you just keep pumping a bit of grease or oil into it. Alright, sorry to buddy. Thanks for watching. I know my son will edit out 90% of that. Because I do waffle on. I think of so many different things. It's just going through my brain, because like I said, I've done that many trips, that many places, and all these different ideas, and anyway, thank you. Morning, Tonk here. I forget your name, a chap's name, but he's always asked every year when I go camping, show what sort of food I take, just as I'm, in precaution, to say this is what I'd pack if I broke down on the road. It gives me, I try and have enough for at least a week. Depends where I'm going. If it's what I consider a bit more remote, I'd have a couple of weeks, at least out of water. But this is what I do. These are the sort of things I would take. I try not to take a lot, and then I'd stock up again at a supermarket, because otherwise you carry too much. So here I got, spaghetti, tin Tucka, milk, UHT milk, sunshine milk, tin peaches, pasta, some vinegars. I generally have a couple of things of flour because it's not that hot, and I'll probably slip that into a big clip lock bag in case that bag busts. But then I'd pack it. See that? I get this whole newspaper, a free one, local one, and I gather them up over, if they're old in the stand and no one wants them, I get a couple each morning. I fold it in half and I drop that in the bottom. That just saves things rubbing. And then of course you start with your tins on the bottom. Try not to put too many tins in your boxes because of the weight. Any of your glass, I don't like glass, but if you take glass, wrap it, get a sheet of paper, maybe a couple of sheets of paper. This is only if you're going really rough roads and that, and you'll wrap that. Wrap him up so he doesn't rub. And when he goes in the box, you can put him in. You can put him in beside things, because the top, he can go in beside the tins, or he can go in the corner because he's wrapped. Anything that, generally don't like taking liquids, too much liquid in plastic bottles. I try and buy them just at the last, but I just bought them out. This is just a sample of what I take. Because that there on a push, I'd get probably 2 feeds out of that with a bit of bread. 2 feeds there, making cups of tea on the side of the road or coffee. That, as long as your fridge system's working, that'll keep you going for a week, a few days. If you had to, you can drink it. But plus I'd have, I'll take in, I'm just going to come and get this, then I'm just going to get you out. I mean, it's not hard stuff. Just whatever you eat, as long as you've got so it's just a matter of if you've got no fridge or nothing like that, you can keep stuff. Well, tin Tucka's your friend, and you just needle stove, heat it up. But yeah, but like I said, you put them on the bottom, and then I'd pack them in one corner, and then I'd put another piece of I'd put that over the top of it again, and that keeps any of those tins, you know, you put them into that corner like that, pack them all together. You don't want too many in a box, say righto, that's all you need. Then you can put that over the top of that, and then nothing will rub on it, keeps them locked in there. And then you'd work on it, see, you can put that up against that, and this just saves all the rub. This is on really corrugated roads, which we don't get that much anymore. They might be, but that's how I pack them. Try and keep your boxes. That's a 45 litre one. You know, you got to remember, as you're getting older, if you're younger, 25 kilos, 30 kilos is nothing, but as you get, I'm 61, you sort of want to keep them under 20 kilos of weight. 15's even better. If you've got sore back, you know, if you're fit and healthy and you had no back troubles, but for some reason my back, once I get over 20 kilos, I have a bit of trouble. Alright, I'll switch this off and then show you what sort of meat. Yeah. This is what we call an emergency cupboard. At home here, and generally what happens, if I'm going away and things are getting close to out of date, I'll take some of these and we buy new stuff to put in the cupboard. And then I take the older ones that's getting close to date and eat them up, you know. That way they get eaten. But we have a week or 10 days supply in the cupboard. Just see, this is, I buy them in bulkish sort of packets. See, I should have cut them down, but I normally like them and I just eat them till they're finished. But yeah, I just have me steaks, me mince, me sausages cut up into individual feed sizes, frozen in clip-stop bags. I mean, the ultimate would be to have a cryovac and cryovac them. So if your freezer buggers up, you can keep it in a cryovac in the fridge for weeks then, as long as it's cold, or even in an esky, it'll keep it cold. But because I travel with 2 freezers, I got backup, you know. But that's sort of what my portion sizes. This is just for travelling up there. I'll have my little freezer. I'll show you. I'll leave that there. I'll come out to the shed. Yeah, so I don't know. Shut itself down. I did something wrong. Righto. I take enough. I fill that, which is 27 litres. Now I'll get those and I'll pack them in there. I've also got 2 tubs of buttered chicken. They're frozen and they're big enough. There'd probably be 4 feeds in them. 4 feeds. So 2 in each container. I'll fit them in there, and if I got a bit more room after I get that in there, which holds a fair bit then in this one, you know, I've got to clean it out and give it a wash again because the mould starts. I leave the doors open a little bit, but it's starting to get a bit of rust. I'll have to I'll hit that with a sander and paint that. Might even have to do the same. But yeah, that's what I do. And then I got the 50 litre Kings. I used to take that one if there was 2 of us, because we bring the fish home and that and take bait up in it. But I might end up buying, I got some bait coming. If it does, I've got to take some bait up with me, so I might end up buying sorry, I'll get back to what I'm doing and finish. But that's the freezer I like to fill. I'm travelling up, and that's where all my meats and everything go in there. And there's look, there'll be a couple of weeks, if not 3 weeks of meat, and then you add fish with it when you get there and eat fish. But mainly just for travelling up, I have at least a week or 10 days in case I break down the side of the road. And hopefully my solar and my batteries will keep it going for that long. At least it'll go, even if there was no sun coming in, my and you happen to pull over on the side of the road in the shade, my setup would run that fridge. If I just pulled it all out and put it into one freezer and froze it, I'd get 4 or 5 days out of my batteries. But so yeah, everything's just set up. I take that, and if ever one of that died or something, I just buy another one on the trip, or if the other freezer died, I just buy another one. But that's the sort of all I do. It's works. It's nothing flash about it. It's all I do is I just take enough, and then when I get close to a major town, if there's anything that I forgot, I go in and I get the stuff that I haven't got. But yeah, that's how I pack for when it's on the real rough roads. All right, I hope that's give you some sort of idea. I don't claim to be any expert on it, but I've done it. Okay, catch us later. But it's your own preference what you take. Like, you know, I don't know why I had that out there. I'd never eat them, but I mean, I just had them there for an example. You know, of course, I'd have eggs, and then in the fridge I got eggs. I buy a cooked chook. I'd have 2 packets of wraps and some cheese and lettuce and tomatoes. And the same with the tomatoes. You get a tomato on the rough roads. Over the years, you get a tomato, and you just individually wrap them in newspaper. You know, your fruit, you get them, and you get that tomato, you get a greenish one, and you just wrap him up in layers of newspaper. May even give him another one, and you sit him in, and it doesn't. They don't bruise. It just looks after them. Yeah, especially if you get the half ripe ones or greener ones. We used to buy a case of half and half because there was a heap of us. That's what we used to do at the fruit, so to make it last. The same, you wrap your tomato, cucumbers, you wrap everything in a bit of newspaper. Okay, catch us later. Thanks for watching. See you when I see you.